The following may contain language that is not suitable for all audiences. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here once again on the Low Fact Podcast.
Where Dave likes to come out with topics that are too difficult.
Well, the topics might not be difficult at all. Maybe it's just we're not good enough. You ever thought of that?
No.
Because you are good enough? What are you that guy from Saturday Night Live?
What guy?
Didn't Al Franken have a character many years ago where he's always looking at the mirror talking about how he's good enough and he's loved and he's precious and he's,
Really?
Yeah.
Al Franken was on Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
What? You'd lie.
Didn't you think he made a weird senator? I did.
He was a comedian?
Yes.
No way. You just blew my mind.
It seems to be happening a lot lately and it's a little disturbing.
Alright. Hopefully you got a good topic.
I hardly ever do. Oh, well, here's one. There's this whole idea that goes around that people tend to mock or be afraid of, that if you're intimidated or afraid of something, you tend to make fun of it. Do you think that's true?
Yes.
Really? Why?
It comes down to the thing you were talking about before.
What?
That's the herd mentality. You shouldn't anything that's different is what people are afraid of. Anything that might upset the apple cart or make things difficult or lead to change, people don't want change. So anybody that represents something that is a threat to the status quo is something to be afraid of, so then you mock that person or that thing.
I don't understand that. Mainly because, speaking in first-hand type of thing, I don't mock things that I'm scared of.
You don't?
No, I'm scared of things that I'm scared of. Why would I mock it? Is that just a psychological trick to make yourself feel like you're bigger than it? It's not that bad?
Yeah, it's a high horse thing.
That's another thing I don't understand. What do you mean it's a high horse thing?
It's looking down on the person. I'm thinking of it as a person.
You can think of it as you want.
Yeah, it's the person that's like, this isn't working, we need to do something about this, so we need to try this different thing. And then if that person's in the minority, then the first thing that happens is that person gets mocked by everybody.
Is it because these people don't want to change?
They're afraid of changing.
Maybe they think everything is great.
No, I don't think so. I think they're afraid of change. They think everything is going to stay the same, or they don't want to look at the bad thing. They don't want to acknowledge that it's there. It's like the elephant in the room. They're just like, no, I don't want to see that. And you're showing this to me. So what do? You attack that person.
Because they don't want things to change?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Or they like it?
You mean they like how things are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if things are falling apart around them, they just will ignore that. But they'll be like, better that I have my little view of reality doesn't get interfered with.
So in a weird way, couldn't that be the folks on the environmentalist realm? They don't want anything to change, so we gotta do whatever we can to keep things the way they are.
Shit. I don't know. I don't understand.
Well, what's the whole point of the environmental stuff?
Things need to change.
Why?
Because the environment.
Again, why?
Because, because people are being poisoned, animals are dying out, the oceans are disgusting and dirty, our riverways are all polluted, air quality is really bad, yada, yada, yada.
Right, but isn't the whole point of isn't the whole stated point about being environmentalist about making sure that there's a way to keep things the way they are so that we can stay here and be the way we are?
Well, that's confusing.
Why?
That hurts my brain. Wait, so we can live longer.
Not so we can live longer, so things can be the same.
No. It's we need to make these changes so that we can live longer. Because otherwise we're all just going to like use up all the resources and then everything's just going to grow into a great halt and then we're all going to die.
But isn't...
dramatic climate change, no more food left, whatever.
Well, that's the stated potential downfalls of it.
Right.
That I'm not saying I agree or disagree with.
Right.
I'm just saying that the whole argument presented for the environmental stuff is to let's keep things from changing so that we don't. So
but that's not what they say.
Well, sure it is. That's the argument presented, isn't it?
It's no.
The stuff they say is really just kind of like a ploy to...
Well, we're saying things need to change. Like we need to fundamentally change the way we're doing everything.
Well, number one, I don't know if that's possible or not.
Well, that's the whole COVID thing. They're like, everybody's like, look how clean the air is. Look at all these animals coming back. Look at, just look at this with everybody being in their houses. All of a sudden, like, nature's thriving.
So isn't the whole point of these people we need to not be here?
Well,
I mean, that's the simplest solution. That's not going to happen.
Well, this is the difficulty I have when people start posting about this stuff because I'm like, what are you suggesting?
Well, when they start posting about that stuff, aren't they contributing to the downfall of everything?
Why, by posting about it?
Doesn't that use electricity? Isn't electricity made by something dirty and bad?
Oh yeah.
Don't they all have cars?
Yes.
Hell, even if they don't a lot of these people travel via the air all over the place?
Yes. But this is the problem I have is when people post like that, they're like, I'm like, what are you suggesting? It suggests that we all just sit in our houses until there's economic collapse and then nature will continue to thrive without us.
Well, it would be an inconvenient thing to admit.
This is why I don't comment on people's posts on this stuff.
Well, there's a big argument saying that a lot of the environmental stuff is really about is about what's the word I'm looking for? Upending society.
How is that good?
Well, again, it's like the people that it's like the very rich people saying that we need to go to a socialist or communist type of thing.
So what does an upended society look like?
Probably one in which they're at the head.
But they're not going to be at the head.
Well, you don't know that. Well, actually, you do, because if they're sitting there posting about stuff, yeah, they'll probably be getting rid of pretty quickly.
But this is the difficulty I have is that when people post stuff like that, they don't have a solution. And they're just throwing the stuff out in a vacuum of like, wow, look how great everything is now. Look how, wouldn't it be, like, this just shows that we need to make some massive changes. And I'm like, so what are you saying? You're saying capitalism bad?
I think what they're saying is everybody needs to go but me.
That makes no sense.
Well, it never does.
I mean, that's Fantasyland.
Seems like a lot of people live in it. Which is why I think that there is a divine creator. Because only a divine creator could keep something as dumb as us around. And let us thrive. Actually, it's not let us thrive. It's purposefully changing things around so that we can thrive.
So now, if I weighed in and then I got mocked, would that be because they would be afraid of me saying that?
According to you, yes.
I might have to put it to the test.
I just don't see how. I don't see why it is that people think that you tend to mock that which you are intimidated or afraid of.
That's classic.
Classic what?
Classic human nature.
See, there you go. And we've come full circle because we don't know what that means. We're just kind of saying it. Or you're just kind of saying it.
Then I don't have to explain it.
Well, then that's just lazy.
Yes. Indeed it is.
Well, I think we've droned on long enough about this. If you made it this far, we thank you and appreciate you for doing it. Please continue to listen to us, and we'll make more.